Have you ever wondered what healing really feels like? Not the Instagram version, but the messy real life version your body goes through. I'm sharing what's been happening to me lately as my nervous system starts to rebalance and what those changes actually really mean. So, it hasn't looked peaceful or perfect. It's looked like unpredictable sleep, grogginess, and big shifts in energy. But by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot the subtle signs your body is healing, even when it doesn't feel like it. So, I am going to tell you about my sleep situation. I have been an atrocious sleeper for years, particularly since I've had ups and down phases before, but since I got pregnant with my son, my sleep has shifted in the latter stages of pregnancy, it was really poor. And then when he was born, he would sleep really well, actually, and I would just lie awake because of the anxiety and the stress. And I was nursing, so I was obviously nursing for the night, and that went on for 3 years. So I didn't sleep properly for about 3 years, and then after that, I still have really struggled to sleep more than 6 hours a night, and that's been about 5 years, and that's been cortisol levels really high. So lots of stuff happening in my personal life, lots of stress, and it's just been really high, and I haven't been sleeping. So as I've been doing more and more deep nervous system healing work, I have started to shift out of that constant survival energy and allowing myself to sort of rebalance. Now, the result of that has been quite interesting. My sleep has been up and down. So I am trying to kind of recalibrate my sleep. So one night I might sleep 8.5 hours, and then the next night I'll follow it up with 5.5. My average is going up still, but it's like my body is testing. So it's going for a long night and then feeling like it's overshot. So it's a bit less the next, and then it's going longer. So it's just trying to adjust and find a new balance. But the other thing that I'm experiencing is longer spells of deep sleep. So I have a smartwatch, so I monitor my sleep through my watch, and it tells me how much deep sleep I'm having. And since this recalibration has been going on, my deep sleep has been considerably longer. So if you look prior to the last few weeks, my deep sleep average is around 30 minutes a night, which is not very much deep sleep. But the last few weeks, it's been more around the 55 minutes of deep sleep a night. And in fact, the other night I actually slept for had an hour and 20 minutes of deep sleep, which is insane amount of deep sleep for me. The result is I'm waking up feeling quite groggy because I'm having so much deep sleep that I'm struggling to get up out of it. And at first, I started sleeping this long, I thought, is there something wrong with me? And because obviously people talk about, when you start sleeping longer, it could be signs of depression. I'm like, but I don't really have any other signs of depression. I don't feel depressed. And then I realised it's just my body recalibrating. So it's testing the balance and working out what really works. So the reason this is happening is as my stress levels are dropping, so my anxiety is reducing, my cortisol is going down, my body's all switching around, my body feels safer. So my nervous system's moving from the survival state into the repair state. So it's expanding my sleep. And in terms of like the hormone thing, when your cortisol level lowers, even cortisol lowers, you go basically from being in that sympathetic nervous system with slight fight or flight, you switch into the parasympathetic nervous system, which allows you to rest and digest. So I'm getting more deep sleep because my body is allowing me to rest and repair. And like I said earlier, the irregular patterns, so it not being consistent. Some nights I'm getting to sleep later, sometimes I'm waking up later, sometimes I'm waking up earlier. It's playing around with it, and I'm allowing what happens naturally to happen naturally. But my body is asking me, like, how much rest do you need? Now that you're not using adrenaline to kind of keep you going, to keep you fueled all the way through the day. And so my body is kind of like, it's testing the waters, seeing how much rest I need, seeing how much recovery I need. And it will depend on what activities I've done in a day as well. So my body's listening, like I'm responding to my body now. And it's quite interesting to see how that's happening. And like I said, the weird part is that I'm sleeping longer, but I'm waking up groggier. And that is partly because I'm having so much deep sleep. So I'm having this really heavy restoration. And I've noticed that my deep sleep is going on much more through the night. So I'm having more spells of deep sleep through the night. And so when I'm waking up, I've had all this really really deep sleep, and my body's like, I'm not sure what's going on here. So it takes a little while to kind of pull me out of it and back into a kind of awake state. And I'm getting more used to that now, and I'm knowing that, just take my time in the morning. And I'm also aware with the fact that that's going to recalibrate. So once I get used to it and I don't need quite so much deep sleep, well, my body just gets used to the amount of deep sleep I'm having, and waking up will be easier. But that grogginess is actually the evidence that my system is finally allowing deep rest. So I'm finally getting this like deep sleep that I'm struggling to wake up from, because I'm actually properly resting. Like getting up and out of bed has never been a problem for me. I've always found it, get up early, get up really early, and off I go. But I'm finding it harder and harder because I'm getting more and more deep sleep. And that is my body allowing me to really rest. So other ways that I've noticed is kind of in the old way, I'd be wired but tired. So I'd always be like wide awake doing stuff, but I'd be tired underneath it all. And I'd be surviving on anxious energy. So I'd feel it sat in my body, and I'd feel the anxiety just keeping me going and going and going. But now I'm kind of getting my natural bursts of creativity. So I'm allowing myself a little rest throughout the day when I feel like, okay, right, I'm doing a bit much and I need a little rest now. I might go for a walk. And I'm listening to what my body needs. And in the evenings, I'm feeling tired. But not tired as in, oh, I'm exhausted. Tired as in, I'm winding down for bed and I'm feeling that sensation. I'm allowing myself to feel that sensation. I've noticed that naturally I'm going less onto my phone in the evenings, which I think is helping me to unwind and to get that kind of real rest. But it's like my circadian rhythm is kind of working better now. So yes, I'm still waking up groggy, which that needs a little bit of work on to see where we go with that. But in the evening, at night time, I'm winding down for the evening and I'm going into bed and I'm falling asleep when I get into bed. And I'm not sort of lying awake for hours and hours and hours and hours on is this like mind fog that I go into, this mind blow, and I'm chat to myself. And so it feels like a much more natural rhythm. And I'm sort of not chasing energy anymore. I'm creating it through the rhythm that I've got and listening to it and listening to, okay, right, this is a high energy day. I'm feeling really great. But also I'm listening to myself through the day and making sure I'm not pushing beyond where my energy levels are. And when I start to feel tired, I'm allowing myself to rest. And then obviously we were talking about the nervous system, but the mindset plays into it quite a lot as well. So how are you feeling up here about everything? And for me, I still panic slightly when things start to fluctuate. And I think, oh, is it, I thought things are going really well, but is it not going so well? And then I'm calming that now. I'm looking at it saying, okay, no, it's not failing. It's just a rhythm that's going up and down. And I'm kind of tuning into that and listening to what my intuition is telling me about what's happening. And I see these swings as proof that my body's learning a new balance. So I'm not seeing them as any kind of failure or any kind of problem, or, if I wake up early one particular day, it's not the end of the world. And I remember that, and it's worth remembering that healing isn't a straight line. It's kind of rhythmic. And my job is to stay curious and not controlling, and to kind of learn from what's happening in my body. So if you're starting to notice that maybe your energy or your sleep feels inconsistent, it might not be that you're regressing. It might not be that your healing's not working. It might mean that your body's finally feeling safe enough to rest. And you just need to kind of listen to what's happening for me internally. How do I feel internally as well? So notice your patterns, trust the rhythm, and let your body lead the timeline. You can't force healing to happen instantly. And for me, I'm talking like 5-6 years of sleep deprivation. So I know I'm not going to suddenly have one really good night's sleep and it's all going to be fixed. So my body, I know I'm trusting my body is going to take its time to heal this. And I'm listening to the anxiety that I feel or that I don't feel, and allowing that to be my guide and allowing that to keep me through and sticking with the healing journey. So it's looking for these slight changes, looking at a change in the rhythm of your sleep, looking in the change in the rhythm of your energy levels and tuning into those and seeing how they're helping you along your healing journey. And just remember that healing doesn't happen in perfect stillness. It happens in motion through rhythm. And that's what the nervous system rebalance really looks like. So hopefully you found this useful. So remember to like and subscribe if you have. And if you'd like to connect with me, see more of my real life journey, if you want, I've got a free community on School called The Sacred Pause, and I'll drop the link in the description and you can come and join me.